Welcome to the Church Brand Guide podcast. My name is Michael Persad. We will help you attract new people to your church and keep them, allowing you to see lives transformed by your ministry. This is where church communications directors come to learn how to build a brand, create marketing systems, and get informed about tools that will help them cut through the noise and reach people in their community. One of the biggest reasons that people are not coming to church today is because they don't understand the value that a church provides for their life. So what we need to do as a church, as we build out our brand, we have to explain to them how we can benefit them. This is from a marketing perspective as we communicate who we are online, on social media, on our website, or even in print. If you produce any sort of ads and put them out there, the key is to let them know what the benefits are of the church that's going to pertain to them and their life. So here's a way to do that. We need to create a user journey. So every good brand has a user journey experience that they've planned out. Like, this is how it's going to go. And the thing is, the more simple that user journey is, the more likely it is that somebody will buy. They'll buy your product. They'll buy your service. It just has to be simple. For the most part, churches are complicated. People don't understand. People from the outside that aren't part of the church world don't completely understand what it is to be part of a church. So we need to help them understand that very quickly in our marketing and on our website. We need to help them be able to understand their next steps so that then they're willing to come and take their first step. So the key to this is providing solutions to problems that they have. So the diagram that I have on the screen shows 4 big problems that people have. And these problems are unique. They're unique because the church is able to solve these problems. A good church can help people in these areas. It's what we do all the time. A lot of times as a church, we just don't communicate it well. So the number one problem is people need hope. And of course, that's what we do as a church. We provide hope. The gospel is hope. And every single week, we preach hope for people in one way or another. So hope is the first thing we have to communicate. That's the first problem we need to provide the solution to. The second problem is connection or community. So a church is the perfect place for people to find their best friend. It's a perfect place for people to find other people that are like-minded that they can do life with. And a lot of times people don't understand that's what a church is. You know, when you get out of high school, it becomes really hard for people to find good, lasting friendships. What if they understood that, you know what, a church is a good place to do that? Like, you should come and meet some really great people. So connection and community. How can we communicate that this is the place where that happens? What about number 3, growth? People want to grow and become a better version of themselves. They want to level up in different areas of their life. And as a church, that's exactly what we do. We help people to get better in their relationships, their finances, their faith, their boldness, all these different areas, their service in community. We're just constantly helping people to get better. We have programs that we put into place. We have discipleship that we put into place where we can learn to become a better version of ourselves. So why don't we help people understand that's what it is? Like, this is a place where you get to grow and become a better version of yourself, better in your marriage, better in your parenting, better in your friendships, better in your finances, all these different things. We just help people to understand this is where you come to grow. And then number 4, significance. What if we can help people understand that they can make a difference with their life? At our church, like, this is the place where you can come and make a difference. We all have it inside of us that our lives should count. It should matter. It should make an impact on somebody else's life. It's something that we want to offer to people as a church. Like, if you want your life to make a difference, then this is the place for you. So how do we communicate that? How do we put that out there? So what we try to do in our branding process, as we walk you through this, as our clients through this, we help create language for these 4 big areas. Language that's simple and punchy and easy to understand. It's usually 2 words, maybe 3 words that kind of says these things. So we say hope, we say connection, we say community, we say significance. We want to communicate those things in a very consistent way across all different types of media. So we coin phrases. And this is also what you'll hear from the stage. So if you see something online, you come in person, you should see it maybe up on the walls. You should also hear it from the stage. It's the same language. It builds trust and it helps people take their next steps. And then we need to have a mechanism that we can point people to. So these things can happen in a lot of different areas. And we know that as people that go to church, as followers of the gospel of Jesus, we know that. But we need to help people from the outside understand, where do I go to get that? That way they can say, I know my next step. So what's the mechanism for hope? Like the best place where people can expect to find hope. What we point to is the worship service. Like whether it's 1 or 2 worship services on the weekend or more, we just want to point people to the worship. Like, what is a very clear call to action when we're communicating this idea of hope? We want to make sure that's very clear. Connection. What does that look like? For some churches, it's small groups. For some churches, it's maybe a Sunday school program. But what does that look like in your church? And then let's make sure we point to it. There's a call to action designed specifically for that. Number 3, growth. What does that look like? For some churches, it's some sort of a discipleship program, or maybe it's like a step 1, 2, 3, 4 program, a growth track. What does that look like? For a lot of churches, it starts off with some sort of a starting point, a meet and greet type of an event. So again, we want to have a very clear call to action where people can say, hey, I want to become better. Okay, where do I go? And then you can point people to that place. Again, a lot of times it's some sort of a meet and greet type of an event that then kicks off maybe a series of other events that people can participate in. But make it simple, make it clear. When we confuse people, we lose people. When we're clear, people will buy. They'll take their next steps. And then significance. Where do people go to make a difference? In most churches, that's going to be serving at the church on one of the teams. Kids ministry, maybe it's production, maybe it's worship, maybe it's a greeter, maybe it's an usher, maybe it's youth ministry. All those different things. Those are areas where you can make a difference with your life. And it could also be outreaches, like maybe there's a local outreach event that's maybe once or twice a year. Could also be a missions trip where you go across the globe to serve for a week somewhere. But what does that look like? The more simple you can make it, the better. So what I recommend is just calling it some sort of a team, maybe a serve team or a dream team or a connect team or your church name team, whatever that looks like. The idea of communicating, this is the place, this is the call to action where you can make a difference. Then that's going to make it easy for people to make that next step. So again, these are the 4 steps that work for just every church. Like, this is what we do as a church. And if we communicate these 4 simple ideas, people can get their heads wrapped around it very quickly. And what people understand quickly is what they do. So let's help them get this right. Let's help your church define these 4 areas, create language around it, make sure there's a call to action, or what we call a mechanism that we can point to. And once you do that, you'll see more and more people taking their next steps. Thanks for listening to this episode. The video version of the Church Brand Guide podcast is available on our YouTube channel. If this was helpful to you, please subscribe so you can be notified when we release new episodes. You'll also help the algorithm reach more people. We would love to help you brand your church. You can visit our website at churchbrandguide.com for more helpful resources, and you can schedule a call to speak with us.